it started at the county fair. Come on.
Welcome back to the Clark County Fair. I'm Gary Littell, and I'll tell you, we've seen rides, we've seen food and eaten food, but you know, there's more to the fair than just all this. There's information that can be passed along to each and every resident. The sole source aquifer for 82,000 people of Clark County, the citizens here, is at risk of contamination from hazardous waste that's deposited in the Tremont City barrel fill site, and that's in the north end of Clark County. Now, Republicans and Democrats alike want the EPA to make a permanent removal of this waste, not just put a Band-Aid on it. And it's an honor really to have all these people here with me. And right here next to me is Karen Duncan, and she's with the Springfield City Commission. And next to her is Larry, an environmental specialist. That's Larry Ricketts. And of course, our state representative down there at the end, and barrel racer, Kyle Kaler from the 79th District. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
Larry, tell us a little bit about an aquifer. What is it, and what's this big problem?
Well, quite simply, your aquifer is where you get your water, and it doesn't make any difference whether you're in the city of Springfield, New Carlisle, whether you have your own well, even a privately drilled well. It's still the same aquifer. That's why this issue is so important, is because we all draw from the same aquifer.
Now, you know, we're talking about politics, Democrats, Republicans. That's not the issue here. Karen, just give me a little bit of what the Springfield City Commission and what they're worried about with this.
Well, the Springfield City Commission, as you know, the barrel fill sits not very far from the well that feeds all the folks in the city of Springfield. As Larry pointed out, the aquifer is not just for the city of Springfield, but for everybody that draws water from this area. And even downstream farther in the aquifer that's underground are all the way clear down to Dayton. But yeah, you're right. There's no politics involved here. This is an issue of health and concern for our community. The quality and the quantity of this aquifer are pretty much unmatched in the country. We are blessed with some of the highest quality water in the whole nation. And that is one of our incredible resources that we have here in Springfield. So it doesn't matter what your political persuasion is on anything else. Everybody needs clean water. We all need that for life, for the economic well-being of our community, and for everyone's health. So it doesn't have anything to do with politics. The city of Springfield has been aware of this since the 70s when the wastes were being buried there. And there are monitoring wells, and the city as well as the health department monitors these things regularly. But the important thing is that these toxic, hazardous wastes are sitting in a pit, in an unlined pit over an area that could contaminate our water resources for this entire community, for the 82,000 people that draw water from this. It doesn't have anything to do with anything other than what's the best thing for everybody in our community.
You know, you brought up a good point with the water. Now, when you go home tonight, you take a big, tall glass of water. I lived for 23 years in Los Angeles, and you did not drink out of the tap water. You had to get bottled water.
Wow.
And then you're talking about the people, our children here. Look at the animals that we have here at the Clark County Fair. How's the water going to affect them? That could be devastating. Kyle, on your level, on the state representative level, tell us what's being done there and what do you hope to see?
Well, we're working with the Ohio EPA, who represents us at the federal level. A big concern we have is people don't really understand what's going on, and Karen's put it in a good way, but people need to understand that we're not talking about the landfill, the municipal landfill that's out there. We're talking about an 8-acre area behind the landfill where in the 70s, 55,000 barrels of toxic waste were buried.
How many, Kyle?
55,000 barrels were buried in that area.
And they're leaking. They're leaking?
Well, at that time it was done how the regulations were set up. We didn't have a lot of regulations, but now we do. We know that's not the place to put it. And everybody, whether the US EPA, the Ohio EPA, the community, we know something has to be done. We've gotten to a point now where we disagree with the US EPA, and their plan initially in 2010 was to dig up that toxic waste, take it out of here, and burn it where we know it would be taken care of. In 2014, Was
Yeah.
it? They
2001.
changed the plan to what they went from 4A to 9A. Those are the distinguishing letters they gave it. And instead of taking it out and getting rid of it all, they want to take out just the liquid form, and anything that's toxic but still won't pass through a paint filter, they want to crush those barrels, put them back in the ground above an aquifer. In a sense, it's really important here to realize they're creating a new toxic waste landfill in Springfield.
Right.
And we say there's no way they'd do that if that toxic waste wasn't already there. We want it gone. We want it put someplace safe. We want it incinerated and gotten out of Springfield. Again, we disagree with the US EPA. The Ohio EPA disagree with the US EPA. The people of Springfield, the people of Clark County disagree. We want them to go back to the plan that everyone agreed to in 2010. Take it out and get rid of it. Do not create a new toxic landfill in Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah, just don't put a Band-Aid on it. And like you
Yep.
said, when you have even all of us, I think, have been raised this way. If you're going to do something, do it right. Just don't
Right.
do it halfway. Now, it's important that you all out there know and show up at Northwestern High School. Now, write this down because you like fresh water. You want to keep it here. It's August 27th at 6 p.m. at the Northwestern High School Gymnasium, and show the EPA, the US EPA, that the citizens of Springfield, Clark County, and the surrounding counties mean business here. We want to put a permanent fix on this, not a Band-Aid. You agree, folks?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Gary, it's so important that the EPA, the US EPA and the Ohio EPA know that the people of Springfield don't want this. We know people are busy. School's starting back up, football's starting up, soccer, but this is about our future. The future of Clark County, the future of Springfield. This is not for us. Right now, we don't know what's going on underground. But in 50 years, 100 years, when our grandchildren have to deal with this issue, we want it gone and we want it fixed.
Let's keep Springfield, Springfield. I'm Gary Littell at the Clark County Fair. We'll have a whole lot more coming up next.
Come on, baby, let's get it started.